India, a land that has captured the hearts and minds of travelers for centuries. From the soaring Himalayan peaks to the azure waters of the Indian Ocean, this vast subcontinent hosts over 1 billion lives. Each visit unveils unique wonders, from the vivid colours and dynamic chaos of its cities to the ancient pilgrimage sites shrouded in mist. But above all, it is the warmth and vibrancy of the Indian people that truly enchant and captivate all who visit this land. We'll see its true heart, which will help us understand why protecting these treasures is so important for the benefit of future generations. This is India. There's simply nowhere else like it on Earth. This is the Statue of Unity. This monument is dedicated to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, a pivotal leader in India's journey to independence and a staunch advocate for national integration. Erected on the river island of Sadhu Bet near Rajpipla, the statue is a symbol of national unity, reflecting Patel's crucial role in uniting 562 princely states to build the modern Republic of India. The most astounding aspect of the Statue of Unity is its structural resilience. Engineers designed it to withstand very strong winds and significant earthquakes. This durability not only ensures the statue will last for years, but also symbolizes Patel's unwavering strength during challenging times. Auroville, set in southern India, began in 1968 with a dream of bringing people together. Founded by a spiritual leader known as the Mother, Mira Alfassa, this experimental township was designed as a sanctuary where individuals from around the world could live peacefully, no matter their cultural or ethnic backgrounds. Stagnagompa. This construction is a Buddhist monastery established in the late 16th century, and it stands on a solitary rock in the middle of the Indus Valley. One thing that makes Stagnagompa stand out is its location. Built on a rock, it naturally protected those inside from invaders, serving as a safe place during difficult times. Inside, it is filled with Buddhist art, including ancient murals, statues, and beautiful silk paintings that each tell a story of Buddhist history and beliefs. Located in Kerala, the tea plantations of Munnar stretch out in vibrant shades of green. Thanks to the gentle climate, this area has become a major hub for tea production globally. The tale of Munnar's tea started when British planters first explored these hills over a century ago. The landscape changed when locals took over, bringing a personal touch to the cultivation process. Now, these plantations are mostly run by women who are experts in gently plucking the finest tea leaves. The primary type of tea produced here is black tea, renowned for its deep, rich flavor and inviting aroma that sets it apart from teas produced elsewhere. Also, one might encounter a rare and remarkable creature here, the Nilgiri tahr. This mountain goat is in danger of going extinct. It lives in the nearby Nilgiri hills and often explores the rough terrain surrounded by tea plants. Just south of Munnar's tea gardens, the Kerala backwaters offer a whole new scene. It's a sprawling area filled with canals, rivers, lakes and lagoons. Gadisa Lake. This man-made marvel was built in 1367 AD by Maharaja Ghazi Singh to quench the thirst of his people and his city. As we step through the gateway, a beautiful scene appears. The calm waters of the lake mirror the bright colours of the temples, pavilions, and steps alongside its edges. These stunning structures display the craftsmanship of those who carved them from the golden sandstone that earns Jaisalmer its nickname, the Golden City. The Khajuraho temples were built from the 9th to the 11th century by the Chandela dynasty. These temples, important to both Hindu and Jain religions, show the great skill of Indian craftsmen and their deep spirituality during that era. The temples are famous for their detailed sculptures that cover the walls. These images range from religious scenes to daily life activities, and even include erotic art. This art highlights a more open view of human feelings compared to the generally strict views of ancient Indian society. Originally, there were 85 temples, but today only 20 are still standing. A really interesting fact about these temples is how they were built. The builders used a special method to fit the stones together without any mortar or glue. The Western Ghats, also known as the Sahyadri, are a big mountain range along India's southwestern coast. These mountains are from ancient times, almost 150 million years old, and they are significant to the area's weather and the diversity of plants and animals. What is really interesting about the Ghats is how important they are historically. In the past, trade lines went over these mountains so that people in the east and west could share goods and ideas. People do not use these old roads very often anymore, but archaeologists and historians still find them interesting because they hold stories about India's past. Goa is the smallest state in India. It's got miles and miles of beautiful beaches along the Arabian Sea. The Thar Desert, frequently referred to as the Great Indian Desert, is known for its vast sandy areas and very little rain. This desert has been forming for millions of years. Its ever-changing sands and rugged rocks were shaped by natural forces. Over time, various plants and animals have adapted to live in this tough environment, creating a unique and resilient ecosystem. From the endangered Great Indian Bustard to the quick Chinkara gazelle, the creatures of the desert have found ways to thrive despite the harsh conditions. One of the most astonishing facts about the Thar Desert is that it is the world's most densely populated desert, with more than 80 people living every square mile. This demonstrates the Thar's people's extraordinary resilience and flexibility. This is Badabar, a site steeped in history and architectural splendor. The name Badabar translates to Big Garden that once thrived here, thanks to a dam and reservoir built in the 16th century. Each monument is dedicated to a ruler's memory, designed with a fusion of Islamic and Rajput architectural styles, showcasing intricate carvings and ornate details. The construction of these cenotaphs was a tradition carried on by successive leaders well into the 20th century, demonstrating a strong continuity of cultural and familial reverence. In 1754, as the once mighty Mughal Empire crumbled, a remarkable monument emerged from its ashes. Safdar Jung, a powerful prime minister who had dominated the empire's twilight years, had passed away. His son, driven by love and ambition, petitioned the emperor for permission to honor his father with a grand tomb. The emperor agreed, and so began the construction of Safdar Jung's tomb. Perhaps the most astonishing fact about Safdar Jung's tomb is that it served as a film set for a Hollywood movie. In 2013, the tomb was transformed into the backdrop for scenes in the Steve Jobs biopic starring Ashton Kutcher. Spiti Valley is located high up in the Indian Himalayas. It's a remote area that's mostly covered in snow most of the year and can only be reached during the summer via winding mountain roads. The palace is a 5-story building with 4 floors submerged underwater when the lake is at its peak depth. Taj Mahal was not originally built to be submerged. Initially, the entire structure was visible, as the lake bed had dried up due to a severe famine. Later, when a dam was constructed and the lake filled with water, the lower floors of the palace submerged, creating the illusion of a floating palace. Despite being partially underwater for centuries, the palace has remained largely intact, with no significant water leaking through its thick stone walls. The City Palace of Udaipur. This complex, with its series of palaces, courtyards and gardens, was built over a period of nearly 400 years. The City Palace is a beauty of marble and granite, constructed on the banks of Pichola Lake, not by a single ruler, but rather by 22 generations of Sisodia Rajputs. Each one of them added their own unique touch to the palace, resulting in a diverse but harmonious complex. One of the most intriguing aspects of the City Palace is the Taj Mahal. The Palace of Mirrors within the complex is famed for its walls covered in mirrors and colored glass tiles, creating a stunning light effect. But the City Palace is only half of the story. The other half is Pichola Lake, a shimmering expanse of artificial freshwater lake that stretches out before the palace. It is an important source of water for the city, used for irrigation, drinking, and other purposes. Together, the City Palace and Lake Pichola are a big chapter in Udaipur's history that shaped the region with their grandeur. Jatayu Earth Center is home to the world's largest bird sculpture, depicting the legendary eagle Jatayu from the Hindu epic. Today, Mahabalipuram is one of the attractions is the massive Kailasa Temple, an enormously impressive structure that was carefully carved out of a simple piece of rock. It took removing 200,000 tons of rock to create this intricate temple. In the sprawling city of New Delhi, we see Swaminarayan Akshardham. This complex, completed in 2005, serves as a vivid showcase of traditional Hindu and Indian architectural principles, carved in sandstone and marble. Perhaps the most astonishing fact about Akshardham is that no steel was used in its construction. Crafted by 11,000 artisans and volunteers, the temple's intricacy reveals stories from ancient scriptures, resplendent with over 20,000 statues, figures, and floral motifs that adorn its structure. In the northeast region of India lies a natural wonder that has captivated the hearts and minds of people for generations. Loktak Lake is the largest freshwater lake in the region. This lake is distinguished by its phumdis, which are heterogeneous masses of vegetation, soil, and organic matter at various stages of decomposition floating over it. These form miniature islands, some strong enough to support small huts. In addition, Loktak Lake is also home to the world's only floating national park, Kebor Lamjau National Park. This park serves as the last natural habitat for the endangered Sangai deer, also known as the brown antlered deer or the dancing deer of Manipur. The Golden Temple is a special place in the city of Amritsar. It has 4 entrances, which means anyone can enter, no matter their religion or background. This shows the Sikh beliefs of equality and welcoming all people. The temple's design blends Hindu and Islamic styles. It's covered in real gold, which gives it a shining golden appearance. Inside the Golden Temple is the largest free kitchen in the world, called the Langar. This kitchen serves free meals to tens of thousands of people every day. It doesn't matter what race, religion, or how wealthy or poor someone is. The Langar meals are for everyone. This demonstrates the Sikh values of service and kindness to all. The Meenakshi Amman Temple, dedicated to the goddess Meenakshi and her consort Lord Shiva, stands as one of the most iconic landmarks in the colourful city of Madurai. Every year, this temple attracts millions of visitors, drawn not just by its spiritual significance, but by its stunning Dravidian architecture. The towers, or gopurams, of the Meenakshi Amman Temple are marvels of architecture and an integral part of its iconic skyline. These gopurams are large pyramidal towers that are covered in stucco figures, and they mark the entrance to the temple complex. The Gateway to India was constructed as a symbol of triumph and colonial prestige. It was made to commemorate the visit of King George V and Queen Mary to India in 1911. It was meant to signify the permanence of the British presence in India, but it became a symbol of freedom. Along the waterfront of Mumbai, the gateway combines elements of Hindu and Muslim architectural styles to show the unity of the Indian Empire under British rule. The Gateway of India may have been built by the British, but it is now part of Mumbai, and it will forever be a source of hope and inspiration for generations to come. The famous Taj Mahal is an iconic structure of Jaipur, representing the ingenious fusion of Rajput and Islamic architectural styles. The primary purpose of the palace was to allow royal women to observe everyday lifestyles and festivals celebrated in the street below without being seen. The facade, made from red and pink sandstone, resembles the honeycomb of a beehive and features 953 small windows, catching the eye of all who pass by. In addition, the clever design of the windows allowed the palace to remain cool during the hot Rajasthan summers, creating a natural air conditioning system that gave the palace its name, Palace of Winds. Powerful winds and towering peaks are characteristics of another incredible wonder, a natural one, the Indian Himalayas. This massive range stretches across 5 states in northern India. Many of its peaks, rivers, and forests are considered sacred in Hinduism, Buddhism, and other local beliefs. This sanctity makes the Himalayas a destination for millions of pilgrims each year. The Indian Himalayas are still growing. Each year, due to the relentless tectonic activity where plates collide, the range rises by about an inch. This means that the highest peaks we see today might not hold their records forever, as they're constantly changing, shaped by forces beyond human control. Jama Masjid is among the largest mosques in India, commissioned by Shah Jahan, the same emperor who built the Taj Mahal. Completed in 1656, it is a vital place for Muslims to worship in Delhi. People come from all over the country, especially during the holy month India gained independence in 1947. The Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, originally called Victoria Terminus, is a historic train station in Mumbai and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a beautiful example of how British and Indian architectural styles come together. At the entrance, you'll find two columns. One is topped with a lion, representing Britain, and the other with a tiger, symbolizing India. When the station first opened its doors in 1887, it was the priciest building in Mumbai, costing what would now be about $26 million. That investment paid off, making Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus a beacon of Mumbai's commercial success under British rule, and marking it as India's first railway station. This is India, a land full of natural wonders and incredible architectural marvels. Now, if you have more insights or fascinating stories about India, please share them in the comments. I'd love to read them.